So example 5 says the complex number, I'm not sure why they put a z, just change it to an x. The complex number x equals 2i is a zero of the polynomial. Find the remaining zeros of f of x and factor it over the complex numbers.
This is easy. We know what to do.
So we're going to look for all the zeros. So let's talk about the zeros. What zeros do we know right now?
X equals 2i.
X equals 2i. Any others?
X equals negative 2i.
Okay. And how many is there going to be total?
4.
4. So I know I've got 2 more here I'm going to have to plug in for, right? To get my answer. And then it wants me to write it as factors. So let's go ahead and let's think about that. So to write it as factors, that would be f of x equals, the x equals 2i would give me x minus 2i.
And the other one is x plus.
And then it'd be x plus 2i. Plus then I'd have a factor for this one, and I'm going to have a factor for that last one, correct? All right. Well, let's see. If I took them and I wanted to go to the form that they gave us, I would have to multiply these two times and multiply those two, right? All right, so let's go ahead and do that first part. So let's multiply those first two. So you can use a box, or it's just 2 binomials, so I'm just going to do FOIL. So what's x times x? And x times 2i? 2ix or 2xi, doesn't matter. And then negative 2i times x. And negative 2i times positive 2i. Negative 4i squared. Okay, positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 2 is 4. I times I is I squared. And let's go ahead and simplify that.
Got it.
What's 2ix minus 2ix? That cancels, right? So I have minus 4, and what is I squared?
Negative 1.
And so I can multiply the negative 4 times negative 1. And so I get x squared plus 4. Now, I know I'm going to multiply the other two there. And I'd end up with some polynomial, some little polynomial here, right? That would be multiplied times the x squared minus 4 in the end. Or, excuse me, x squared plus 4 in the end, correct?
Yeah.
So what you're telling me then is that this binomial times the answer I get here, if I multiply them together, it's going to give me that. Right?
So if we divide that.
So if we divide them, we're going to find the one we're missing, aren't we? So we're going to have to divide. Now, can I use synthetic division to divide here?
No.
No, why not?
We have x squared.
Because we have an x squared, so we're going to have to use long division.
Miss Timberlake, couldn't we just start doing long division with the x equals 2i thing?
Let's set up our long division. So now be careful, because what's going to go on the outside?
X squared minus x minus, yeah.
X squared plus 0x plus 4. Remember, they have to be in descending order. And I don't think we've seen before where the outside one wasn't. But they have to be in descending order with every variable accounted for underneath the bigger one. And then we have inside the 2x to the 4th plus x cubed minus 7x squared plus 4x minus 60. Alright, so let's divide our first term. So I have 2x to the 4th divided by x squared. So 2x to the 4th divided by x squared is 2x squared. So I'm going to put a 2x squared up there. And then remember, we're going to take that times everything right there. So let me erase that one parenthesis I have and move it over some. So I'm going to take the 2x squared times that x squared plus 0x plus 4. And that's what I'm going to write right here. I'm going to line it up. So it gives me 2x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 8x squared. And then we're going to subtract that, which means change the sign. So it's they're all going to become minuses then, right? 2x to the 4th minus 2x to the fourth is going to cancel. 1x cubed minus 0x cubed is still 1x cubed. And negative 7x squared minus 8x squared is negative 15x squared, and bring down the next term. And so then remember, we're going to repeat. So you're going to start with divide your first term. So x cubed divided by x squared is a positive x. So put plus x on top. You're going to take that x times what's on the outside there. And that's what I'm going to put over here. And we're going to subtract, so change all the signs. X cubed minus x cubed is going to cancel. Negative 15x squared minus 0x squared is still negative 15x squared. And 4x minus 4x, we can say cancels, but remember that's going to be a placeholder, so put 0x. And then bring down your next term. And then we get to do it one more time. So negative 15x squared divided by the x squared. What is that? The negative 15, so put minus 15. You're going to multiply that times everything on the outside. And we're going to put that answer over here. So negative 15x squared, 0x, negative 60. We're going to subtract, so change all the signs. And it's all going to cancel. Now, we knew our remainder was going to be 0 because we said that it was a factor of it, didn't we? All right, so that means this other parenthesis over here with that dark or the thicker blue underline is going to be, this equation we have right here on the top. So I'm going to take that equation and I'm going to plug it into that parenthesis right there. So what is that? 2x squared plus x minus 15. Now remember, I want the zeros and I want the factors. I don't want to combine them. If I combine them, I'm going to get the beginning problem. I need to factor that out further. So now I'm going to kind of work backwards a little bit here because I need the factors. And I wrote where I put f of x equals. I drew lines on that one up there at the top. So we already know that this first one came from the factors of x minus 2i and x plus 2i, correct? But now I can factor this one here and to find my other two factors that I needed. So it's getting a little messy here. I think I'm going to go the other way actually with my arrow to factor it. So I think I'm going to bring that out over here and factor. So 2x squared plus x minus 15. Remember, this is the one we have to multiply by the 2. You have to multiply to 30 and subtract to 1. So 6 and 5 plus and minus, but you got to bring back that 2 and divide, right? Reduce if possible. And if not, you got to throw that number in front of the x. And guys, on this one, you have to do it because I'm looking for the factors. If you leave it as a fraction, it's not completely factored. So now I know that that is going to be x plus 3 and 2x minus 5. So there's my factors that it asked for. I'm going to put a little f of x in front of that. So there's the factors it asked for. And it also asked, remember, for those zeros? Well, I'm looking at the top. You told me it was 2i. You said it was negative 2i. What are my other two? Negative 3 and 5 over 2. Because you take those individual factors up there at the top, or right above that, and you set them equal to 0.